Anyways, Ouyang started blasting with such tremendous power that he actually sent one of the henchmen flying straight into a wall. With his power on display, one of the nearby girls began to think twice about her involvement with the boy. Nonetheless, still outnumbered but not outmatched, Ouyang continues forward as he readies his fists, while busy asking the rest if they aren't scared that he just sent one guy flying like Team Rocket. Meanwhile, the head honcho finally switches his attention to the powered Ouyang, rather than the bully boy, only to ask him, who the heck is he? As such, Ouyang transforms his face into Rock Lee and replies by claiming that they are currently messing with his little brother. Within just mere moments, the bully's face swaps to the face I make when I forget that there's an exam today. At this moment, he knew that there is no turning back, no matter what he regretted from his actions minutes before. Thus, Ouyang removes his facepalm reaction by replacing it with his big, thick hands, as he forces him straight down into the ground like quicksand. It's then revealed with his eye that this wannabe tough guy is named Go Hyukchin, and is only level 4 with pathetic stats. However, upon closer inspection, it's revealed that this high school student already popped a cherry, causing Ouyang to be slightly irritated, as he himself did not pop a cherry until way after high school. Regardless, Ouyang insults him right before he down smashes him straight into the ground, face first. But of course, with such a deadly down smash, the guy isn't even unconscious, so Ouyang demands him to get up, unless he doesn't value life. As Hyukchin starts apologizing before him, Ouyang turns around to the rest of the guys and tells them to get lost, while also sternly warning them that if they continue to mess with his so-called brother again, then they'll be at the mercy of the Great Demon King. Unfortunately, Ouyang's words just go straight from one ear to the other, as the boys are in immense shock from what they just witnessed. As such, Ouyang gets up, ready to destroy the rest as they won't move or say anything. Fortunately for the group of boys, one of them regains their face, but he only could mutter up the words, "It wasn't us." With such a response, Ouyang's eyebrows continue to grow through his hair, so before he could beat them up, the boys made a run for it. Suddenly, Ouyang is alerted to a phone with max volume on as it started to record, only to be revealed that one of the previous girls began to threaten Ouyang, claiming that he's being recorded for fighting them. She then continues on by nervously asking if he wants to ruin his life for hitting someone in high school, as he's already graduated. However, this didn't faze our Chad, as he quickly activated his signature skill, making it so the girls are unable to move, yet aware of what is about to happen. He then whipped out his hand without a wand, as he wished in his head that someone would say, "You're a wizard, Ouyang." Nevertheless, with just his hands, he whisked away her phone and made it blow up instantaneously. Afterwards, he comboed his magical act by activating one of his new skills, Devil Effect. Thus, a green and purple aura began emitting all around him as he calls upon Trunks, he of empowers. With his aura applied, the girls, currently unable to move but fully aware of their surroundings, begin to ask what on earth is he. Then, within a blink of an eye, Ouyang closed the gap and asked her if she wants to be destroyed, because she had more balls than the guys earlier. However, with a change of heart, she starts apologizing and mumbles the words "Hyuk, Hyuk." As she continued to cry, Ouyang felt surprised and began feeling sad for her, as she broke down from a single threat. Suddenly, a notification appeared, alerting Ouyang that he has achieved 100 interest from the girl named Kang Jihee, causing him to be a little freaked out. Ouyang then glanced to the left to notice another notification, again alerting him that Yoon Mingyum has also achieved 100 interest in him. Now confused even more as to why the girls are suddenly becoming interested in him, he realizes that they the typical young trait of liking bad boys who can fight or treat them roughly. With such the turntables now, Ouyang nervously questions why the two girls would start falling for him even with the threat of death just around the corner. As such, he facepalms, so he brings the two together, shoulder by shoulder, only to tell them both to come back next year, as they are still currently students, and apparently Ouyang has standards now. Nonetheless, he leaves the girls alone and waves off into the sunset, while he also tells the boy, Gunwon, to follow him home. As the two now walk together speechless, Ouyang starts thinking about how he can't believe he actually turned down two girls. However, upon finishing his thoughts, Ouyang is greeted by a new notification, revealing to him that he has now randomly lost 3 stat points due to actually completing some good deeds. Unfortunately for the Armin look-alike, he taps Ouyang's shoulder for attention at the wrong time, causing the absolutely angry Ouyang to turn around. Even with his demon-like demeanor on display, Mini Armin is able to still bow and thank Ouyang for everything. As such, Ouyang waves him off and says no worries, where he tells him next time to try and not get beat up. However, Gunwon does not easily go away, as he attempts to invite Ouyang to his house for some free food as a token of his appreciation for saving his life. But we all know as soon as we hear someone say food, then they already have my full attention. As such, the two head home to his humble abode. Upon arriving, the delightful smell and look of delicious food easily welcomed Oh-young home. Yet in truth, it looks like the soup won't be the only meal he'll be having, as he also gets greeted by his mom. Now looking like he's constipated, we get reminded that this could be a very cultured chapter. Nevertheless, we are met with some foreshadowing as the mom says eat lots. Meanwhile, Oh-young is busy looking at her detailed information, where it's revealed that somehow restaurant lady already has 40 interest in milkman. She then tells Oh-young to enjoy the meal, but we all know what Oh-young is currently thinking. As such, he takes his first bite, but his look says it all as he's totally conflicted. It's at this point we realize it was not MSG that made him drool, rather, his fantasies taking a hold of him. Luckily, Armin speaks up and asks if the food is great, allowing Oh-young to come back to reality. With him snapping back to reality, he starts to really compliment the food, but is still too busy thinking about something else. Meanwhile, Supermom thanks him for liking the food and continues by telling him that if he doesn't like it, then he does not need to be too shy. However, Oh-young pipes up by claiming that he isn't just being polite, as he's adamant that the food is actually good. Then bang, a domination quest subsequently dropped, where Oh-young will receive immense amounts of experience points based on how far he gets. Thus, for the first time, Oh-young is absolutely horrified that he actually gained a domination quest, where he starts feeling downcast as he has to think twice about completing a married woman. Unfortunately for Oh-young, a follow-up notification appeared, revealing to him that if he fails to complete the quest, he will lose 5 levels and his entire dominated list will be erased. Oh-young then abruptly stood up, quite shocked that the penalties for failure are so severe, causing Jungwon to worriedly ask if Oh-young's okay. Now realizing how he just reacted in real time, he acts as if he's perfectly fine and also perfectly deflects his current uproar by claiming he got a sudden, unexpected text message. However, Armin starts to think he's a little bit off his rocker, as he says he doesn't even have his phone in hand. As such, he leans closer and double-checks if he's actually okay. At this point, Armin starts to piece things together, as he directly asks Oh-young if he's actually a superhuman. Simultaneously, Supermom begins to get confused, so she asks the two what they are exactly talking about. Now stuck in a sticky situation again, Oh-young attempts to play it off, only for Armin to increasingly believe that Oh-young is actually superhuman due to him never telling Oh-young his name, and well, the way he fought everyone off. Luckily for Oh-young, he gets saved by the bell, as Supermom starts to think Mr. Colossal Titan has been playing too much Roblox Fruits again. But Armin fervently attempts to explain that this time it's actually real, claiming that he saw it with his own 2 eyes. Meanwhile, Oh-young is stuck at the corner of the table, nervously watching on as things continue to unfold. Nevertheless, Supermom attempts to make her son not seem crazy, so she ends up calling Armin a big troll. Thus, Armin tries to get Oh-young on his side, but all Oh-young could do is play along. Eventually, Oh-young begins to crack, so he theoretically asks if he's actually superhuman. Why does Armin care so much? So Armin quickly responds by saying that of course, fate has led Oh-young here to teach him superpowers. Now even more frustrated, Oh-young continues to ask what he would do with superpowers, but before he could answer, the two get interrupted by Supermom demanding Armin to stop with nonsense. In the end, Armin finally apologizes for saying something stupid, causing him to head home and totally dejected. But now Supermom is alone with the Demon King, where she reveals to him that she's known that Armin has been bullied for a long time now. She continues on by explaining that Armin is a really good kid, but he's a little bit obsessed with video games and anime. As such, she's tried to make him change, but she has never been successful over the years. Now taking the opportunity, Oh-young promises to her that he'll change him, so she happily thanks him. However, Oh-young asks for a favor in return for helping him, so he straight up asks Supermom if he can fill up her old fridge with his gallons of milk just once.